Hi guys, I'm Garen.
I'm JD.
And this is Investigating Comic Club, where we chronologically read, review, discuss, and rate specific crucial stories of the medium.
Indeed, and we hope that you guys will subscribe to the channel and become members of Comic Club yourself by reading along with us and rating each issue at the end with our comic quality poll, as well as sticking around till after the Misfit Picture Show's logo for any potential bloopers from the episode if it's provided. This issue, it's Powers of X number 3 by Jonathan Hickman, R.B. Silva, and Marte Gracia. It's a little weird that Powers of X number 3, 2 Powers of X in a row.
It's because they knew I missed Powers of X 2. So what they did is they wanted me to come in and not that I missed one.
Because you missed last week.
Yeah, because I missed last week.
Well, it's great to have you back.
Dude, I am so happy to be back. But you did great. You killed it on that last. Killed it.
Thanks.
I think it didn't hit me till I put in at the local comic book shop that what I was getting for this week. And I was like, oh, I think you guys messed up. I think it's supposed to be House of X. And I'm like, oh, no. You're like, no.
You started to teach them?
Yeah, I was like, I think they have an online.
Right.
So I was like, I wasn't sure if something went wrong with online. Wasn't sure if it was a mess up. And they're like, no, it's on. And I looked back in the back of the issue and I was like, oh.
That's a new shop that you're going to,
yes.
correct?
It is indeed.
Why don't you do a little shout out?
A little shout out. Collector's Paradise. It's one of 3, but this one's in North Hollywood.
And the Arts District on Lancashire?
Yes, Arts District on Lancashire.
Yeah, I haven't visited yet, but I've heard good things. So I read it on your tablet this time.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely breathtaking. It looked gorgeous on your tablet. Not only was it, I think, a massive improvement over the hard copies, beautiful and vibrant, those colors, gracias. You really, I think, yeah. What did you think overall this issue?
Overall this issue, a side note, agreeing with what you're saying as far as the tablets, there's some comics that I'm reading now recently even, where it's like you see them printed on good paper and good quality, and you're like, and it could have been an issue that was done, 20, 30 years ago, and you're like, that is amazing. Yeah. That looks beautiful. And so it's
a bit of a downgrade, and that is disappointing. Garen actually picked up X-Force Omnibus number 1 this week, and that's a beautiful book.
Oh, yeah.
The coloring technology back in that time isn't as sophisticated as it is nowadays, but the printing on that page and the quality of the page and the stock of it is really special.
Yeah.
Well, that's a book that will live on your bookshelf for the rest of your life if you wanted to.
Yeah. So going back to what I think of Powers of 10, issue 3, as a whole, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I did go back and read issue 2 to lead up to it, so I kind of reminded myself, it's only been a few days, but see how I was going to connect. I'm not the smartest guy in the bunch, so the words on the page where some of the names of the people, of the places, the science behind certain things is a little much for me.
Okay.
But it connects to where I'm like, I'm still intrigued. Each issue I'm more intrigued with Rasputin. Yeah. With that character. Yeah. And then as a whole though, for it to kind of have that ending, where it's just like, okay, there we and again, back to the last episode with you saying a kind of like a Bible in a sense of Hickman's Bible. It connected the dots as far as I think I've been trying to read these all with like, okay, what should I know? What shouldn't I know? What should I, it was more clear with having you making that point. No, that makes more sense. There are things for the past lovers of X-Men and Marvel to love about it. He's keeping that status quo, but he's also giving you new stuff to show you what the next 3 years is going to bring.
Yeah, I think so. It's laying the foundation. And in these 12 issues, I think it will work as almost like a document of what kind of pulling the taffy and exploring and investigating further, this will lay that foundation. I liked the Apocalypse quote to open it up. I had an idea last week that every issue we kind of be getting the recruitment of the VIPs, but then thought, well, no, he won't just lay into it in that way. But what he might do is, with all of these VIP recruits that are unusual, like Magneto or Sinister or Apocalypse, I think he's going to show us a very particular moment of each character to kind of set that up going further. You saying that you watched the episode last week by myself, that you thought that I kind of caught a couple things, or that...
Yeah.
One of our commenters, actually, Mako, his comment last week nailed some of the things they explored here, which I thought was super, super cool. He was talking about Isaac Asimov. He does real sci-fi, exploratory, philosophical things.
Yeah.
And he did the short story called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Which Blade Runner, the movie, is based on.
Oh, okay.
And that idea of these, like the replicants, the androids, they don't dream. So I thought that that was a great conversation that Nimrod and the Omega Sentinel. Remember that moment? So super cool that Mako called that out and actually even mentioned Asimov. And for this issue to go so closely to even say that, drop that. Like, I think Hickman he's not trying to pull a fast one. You know, he's not like, this is out of nowhere. My imagination brought all of this. No, he's exploring things and ideas that other authors have done before, whether it is X-Men authors or outside. He's not trying to pull a fast one. He's paying homage and making it clear that it's his respect, his inspiration that he finds from these things that's creating the story. What did you think of the baby kind of sacrifice?
I was like, it turned a little cultish there for a second. And then with religion being involved too, and which kind of, you just saying, him taking everything, not just from X-Men, but from other lore. And then you have the shot of the four of them.
Yeah.
That just looks like, I was like, that is, that right there is like, dun dun, yeah.
Super cool later on in the tech page, we get the Four Horsemen.
Yep.
That it's the Apocalypse and the Four Horsemen, and it went into, again, not crazy detail, but slight detail to kind of set up the characters enough that it's cool. You could do a 6-issue miniseries on this timeline. Yeah. But I have a feeling that we're not going to see Rasputin again.
Yeah. Because
of how that. I think this is the end of that timeline.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. One thing struck me, and again, I'm so reluctant to say, I don't want to fog your mind up with past lore, but Cable is from the future, and he's infected with the technovirus. Like, he's kind of like he's got the metal arm. Yeah. He was infected by Apocalypse as a baby with the technovirus. So I just thought that was an interesting echo, that Apocalypse is on the side of these X-Men fighting against what the Nimrod technology is bringing to the humans that echoes what he did in the past. There's just cool loops there. One of the things that I think is really cool that Hickman is embracing so much, Chris Claremont in his 17-year run on the X-Men books, he did so many different stories that were science fiction and fantasy and time travel and multiverse and slapstick, swashbuckling adventures. Yeah. Time travel has really been a part of the X-Men lore from the original Days of Future Past, which was done, I think, in the very early 80s. So him embracing these different timelines and things like that, there's a threat that it becomes so continuity heavy that it does alienate the casual reader. Yeah. But I hope that he will establish it always in a way that will make it digestible for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Something that will connect the dots a little bit more. Take what I've kind of read, and also I kind of like to go and be like, okay, like we said, could a new reader have started, and now they're on issue, what is this, 1, 2, 5 now? Yeah. Technically, in this realm of 12? Yeah. It's clean slate. Would I still be connected? Having it end the way it did is one of those where it's like, it might have been wishy-washy, where it's like, I have no idea what's going on right now. But then having that end where it's like, oh, this was the Ninth Life. Yeah. Oh, okay. And just even the panel at the very end, just even with the silhouette of Logan. Logan, I have to do this. And
he's done it before. He's had to do that often in his history And it always kind of breaks my heart. He's that person that they go to, you know, like you have to essentially murder people you care about.
Yeah,
for the
she says it, and this is what you do.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty great. Each issue is dense. I think Hickman has done an admirable job.
The tech pages, I still go back through even past issues and be like, what am I missing? Or what did I, you know, like, because, you know, we read this and then we review it. And so it's like there's some things that get missed and stuff. But it is a lot of like, okay, who is that person? Am I supposed to? Oh.
It's funny. There are further things in every single issue that we could investigate.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't mentioned at all that there is this language that exists in these tech pages. That those are all letters that people have decoded. They say this line or this word or that, and you and I haven't explored that at all.
Nope.
I think it's super cool that it's in there. That's not quite the way that my mind works when I like to explore things.
No, that's some deep investigating,
cool.
Which is cool. And there's plenty of people who are doing it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would love the people in the comments, the people that are watching, what the words say. I would actually love for somebody to comment on that.
Because the most I know is that the symbol for House of X, at least you know those symbols, is House of X.
Oh, yeah, of course.
X. So like but that's all I know. And then those dots.
I don't know how the people figured out and decoded each one. I don't know if there was something that was tweeted or posted that was like the legend for those.
Yeah.
I had said, I think a few episodes ago, Krakoa. I thought maybe that foresty guy was the evolution of Krakoa. It was kind of confirmed that it was kind of last week, but also it's Cypher, who's Douglock. Like, it's a combination of Douglock and Krakoa. But I thought it was interesting that Logan refers to him as Kid, which makes me feel like it might be the body of Krakoa, but it's certainly the consciousness of Douglock.
Yeah.
I'm sure in Jonathan Hickman's imagination, if we never see this timeline again, I'm sure that he has backstories for all these characters.
Yeah. No, he's got storyboards on storyboards of
I think that's
each one of these characters. If you
really
had to
special.
go down a road and, like you said, do a miniseries on them alone, or, you know, like, because it did feel like kind of not a full completion, but like something where it's like, okay, these last few issues got me to an extent to where, okay, now I'm ready to see what happens next.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I hadn't thought about that. I think that it does provide some closure.
And that concludes...
Oh, that's right.
So ended the ninth life of Moira.
I loved the humor, and this is a compliment to both Hickman and R.B. Silva, the artist. I really like the humor of Nimrod talking to... Is it the Omega Sentinel? I'm just kind of referring to her as that because she...
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I'm not one to say, but if I had to give her a name, she was very...
Like that one from the past. But when he says sarcastically, it's a wonder I can sleep at night. Just the way that R.B. Silver drew her face, kind of like, we don't sleep or whatever, you know? Like that. Actually.
Like the one reaction that wasn't a machine-esque, or just like rolling the eyes of like, oh.
You feel their arrogance, which I think is great. The page of Nimrod being alerted, the colors on that are absolutely breathtaking. Like, I almost gasped out loud when I switched that page. I loved this page flip over where Logan is kind of looking around the corner. A perfect example of comic book reveals. You know, you paste this, you get to the end of that page, and you flip it, or you tap it, and then boom. Like, it's a great reveal. Clearly, Nimrod is going to be a big villain as we move forward in the X-Men lore. And it will be cool. I'm sure that Hickman, throughout the next couple years, Nimrod will probably start out as a very machine-esque. It will be cool to see that develop in him. It's like machines evolving into humanity as they're forcing humanity into the machine.
Yeah. Logan's like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna do this. I'll take care of this. He's like, look at you. You look like crap. It's like, stop. If you could see yourself, like.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think I really realized I do care about these characters, and I am rooting for them. When it was revealed that, the Nightcrawler character, just a blunt panel of him dead. That reveal, I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be the inevitable end. It is going to be Moira. She just needs to download this. This is that sacrifice. Seeing Rasputin there, and when she lifts and releases the singularity of Zorn, I love his smile. That's how he wanted to go. And the gasp of the Omega Sentinel, again, like the machines are evolving.
Oh, yeah, having emotions. And again, we end with another. I like how it starts with a quote. We just hear and ends with a quote. That.
And bookends them.
Bookends it very nicely.
It was interesting to see him fighting Nimrod. Apocalypse, he's a villain. And within a few pages, really we've seen this character maybe accumulated 17 or 18 pages at this point.
Yeah.
And I felt each blow that Nimrod was giving him. I was like, come on, Apocalypse. I was rooting for him. Yeah, you're rooting for him. Did you notice the thumb print on Logan when he was downloading Moira? His body almost like thumbprint.
Oh, yeah.
You see that?
What?
And I think that's been...
There?
We've seen thumbprint before in the series. I can't quite recall when we've seen that kind of thumbprint.
On the cover of Moira's issue.
Oh, that's right. Right.
All her.
It's worth noting, and I think we'll see it again. It is interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Huh?
So what would you give this one?
I'll give this one, I gave last week a B.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I gave last week a B. And this week, I think I'll still give this one a B. It was almost an A. There are some things, like I said, just the way I read. But that payoff at the end kind of did seclude it. Like it was...
That was a super reveal.
Yeah, that was one of those like, okay, cool, to payoff, And
it may have been lower, but that reveal was enough of a...
Yeah.
It was a cool payoff and a nice resolution to within that timeline. I was caught off guard that I cared about these characters as much as I did, because it was my complaint leading up to it. So when am I going to start caring about these guys? And I started caring about them 6-7 pages before their end.
Yeah.
And it caught me off guard. I was super excited about it. That reveal at the end. This one from me gets a B+. We would love to hear what you guys rate it. In our comic quality poll, which is right above here. Give it an A, B, C, D, or F. And then also comment in the comments below, and let's keep this discussion going. Sounds really great. We will see you guys next time. To be continued. Yeah, even this. We didn't even go over this.